Hey guys, how's it going? So, I know that yesterday I posted a really heavy video, so I figured you deserved a little treat. Today I'm in a little bit of a better mood because I just had the last HMI LGBTQ Youth Summit, which was awesome. So anyway, I'm going to do, finally, my main review for my ReelMagik STP. I have so many trans guys asking me questions, constantly asking me what I think about it. I know I did little basic review, but I promised that I was going to do a review that was solid after a couple weeks and after I really got to try it. And so far, I've basically done everything you can with it except for swim. So, without further ado, I've actually organized myself, and I'm going to go through all the pros and the cons. I think I remember all of them, so we'll go through them. So, pros. It looks realistic. If you look at my first review, where I did an unboxing, you can see. So what I did was I did an unboxing video, and then I did a little initial review. And then I think I did even another review once I did an unboxing of the new adhesive that I got, and now this is my main review. So, but if you look at the unboxing, you can see that it really does look realistic. So you can actually get it hand painted to match your skin tone. So know that male genitalia in general, is usually a little bit darker than the rest of your skin tone. So what you do is you can pay $30 or whatever, and you can choose between a gazillion colors, and they'll send you, I think, 6 silicone samples. And then what you do is you take these little circle samples that are like this, and you put them either on the inside of your thigh under decent lighting, or on the back of your arm, your forearm, and that'll help you to choose the color. So it's really helpful in terms of my dysphoria to be able to look at my dick and be like, okay, yeah, this is mine. It looks more like it belongs there. So that's cool. It also feels pretty realistic. Definitely the most realistic out of all the STPs and packers that I have encountered. So I decided pretty much I would consider this what I would say a gentle 4-in-1, which is not how it's advertised. So this is advertised completely as an STP. You're supposed to be able to pack with it, excuse me, pack with it, and you're supposed to be able to pee with it, and apparently swim with it, and go about your day, but that is it. You're not supposed to be able to play with it, you're not supposed to be able to have sex with it, and I say gentle because I haven't necessarily, really pushed the limits, in terms of, the 4 of the 4-in-1, I'll say. But it goes, it works. I mean, definitely compete with it, for sure. It works. It works. Before I even go any further, I just want to say, overall, this is, it works. I can definitely say you can pack comfortably with it. I've figured out a way in most underwear to pack with it where I feel more comfortable with the way that the bulge looks, but either way feels comfortable. You can play with it, and I will talk more about that in a bit. And yeah, you can have sex with it. So another pro, this is a big pro, seriously. So even if you've had success with other STPs, which I haven't, but one of the reasons why is because I tend to get really distracted and whatever, and I also drink a lot of water. And so I will wait until, especially because of bathroom fears, I will wait until the last second to pee, okay? So when it comes time to pee, I don't want to have to, like, hold back my flow, which with most STPs you have to. You basically have to release a little bit at a time. This one you don't. You don't have to hold back your flow at all. You just go. The hole is big enough. Nobody will, like, notice anyway. Unless they're blatantly, unless you're being, like, intimate with somebody, nobody's going to notice. But it's a big enough hole. You don't have to stretch it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to, a lot of other STPs also, to avoid leaking, you have to, like, hold the balls back. You don't have to do that. I sometimes do that to make sure that I've, like, completely gotten all of my pee out, and I'll also do it just for balance, because I'm not used to just, like, standing with nothing. For a while, I had to really train my body to not be scared to pee and everything, and I had to, like, hold my arm up, and then I progressed to, like, holding it just, like, on a counter or on a bar. Now I don't have to at all, but I kind of, like, almost fall over otherwise, because I'm just not used to it, I guess. So, that's helpful. The adhesive really, the fact that you can adhere this to your body really does make your prosthetic an extension of your body. So it really helps with dysphoria, because even though I can see that it's absolutely attached to me, and, it's definitely not level with your skin for sure, but it's significantly better than having just an STP in a harness that's not even attached to you. Depending on the level of activity that you're doing, you can wear any underwear you want with it. I've tested it now, basically full days with, like long boxer briefs, with short boxer briefs, with briefs. I didn't try boxers for a full day, but for a while, I can imagine that, you would. That being said, if you are going to do more rigorous activity like the gym or have sex or hiking, I would recommend what they recommend, which is what I wear, which are the rodeo hot shorts. So they're great because they basically have, like, kind of a built-in harness, but they look like underwear and they feel like underwear. And they also have pockets for vibes and stuff that are useful. Another pro, it's, as I said, you can pack with it. It's comfortable for the most part. I would say that without rigorous activity, it can last 10 plus hours. I've definitely had days where if I didn't put it on properly, or if I would, like, do a really, like, a workout that was heavy or something, it wouldn't survive it. I would probably leak, and then I would have to reapply it. But for the most part, yeah, especially if you're going about an average day, there shouldn't really be any reason, if you're adhering it properly, why it wouldn't last. They actually recommend that you take it off after 10 to 12 hours anyway, because your skin needs to breathe, but sometimes I'm bad about that, especially if I apply it at, like, towards the tail end of the day, and I do like to sleep with it. So, I do take it off to obviously, like, shower, and, usually every couple days or whatever, I'll definitely make more of an effort to not have it on for a couple hours. I try to make an effort anyway, just to give myself breathing. But, for dysphoria and functionality and to properly test it, I was, trying to max it out. And honestly, it impressed me the other day. I think it lasted, 24 hours or, like, even more than that. As I just mentioned, you can sleep with it. So, yeah, when you wake up, there is definitely a chance, depending on how much you move around in your sleep and when you applied it and how much activity you did when you applied it beforehand, there's definitely a solid possibility that you could wake up and it won't be completely adhered to you. I would just recommend that if you do sleep with it, to, like, pay attention and make sure that it's properly adhered in the back, because that's actually going to be the cause of the leak, not as much the flaps in the front. But yeah, you definitely just like press it down, just make sure that it's properly on there. So yeah, as I said, it works. I mean, it doesn't leak if you put it on properly. If you have the proper underwear for whatever activity you're doing and you properly adhere it, it's not going to leak. The leaks that I've had, I think, like 7 leaks now over the past several weeks, which is really not terrible in the grand scheme of things. And I think that all my leaks, luckily, have been at like home or somewhere private that I can handle it. But really, if you properly adhere it, it will not leak. And those leaks also happened either after like a strenuous workout and I didn't just check properly, or again, I slept with it and I woke up and I was like half asleep and I thought it was adhered and it wasn't. Another pro, it does not really hold on to smell. I mean, obviously, if you are working out with it, or you're active, or it's like hot and you're sweaty, or you're wearing it for a long period of time, yeah, there's going to be a scent, but you'll take it off. You're going to wash it with unscented, or at least natural, like all natural, not super chemical soap. You can also use like a silicone soap. Sometimes what I do is I actually have a soap that I found out is good for silicone. That's a bar. So I'll use the soft soap, then the silicone soap, and then after that, you're going to use, when you get your STP and when you order like in bulk, like adhesives and stuff, they'll send you a cleansing spray, and you'll use all of that. And once you use those 2 or 3 things, it really doesn't smell anymore. The last STP that I had totally held on to scent. And a lot of companies will tell you, oh yeah, it doesn't smell, it doesn't hold on to scent, it just holds on to scent of whatever you use to wash it. Lies. This blatantly, after you wash it, you know, it's, if anything, it's going to have like the faintest smell of you. And honestly, as long as you shower every day, properly clean your junk, clean the silicone properly, you really shouldn't have any issues with smell at all. So, this is a little TMI, but honestly, I'm giving you a full review here, and I don't even care that we've gone almost 13 minutes, because you gotta know all this. This is expensive. You can poop with it. I've only successfully done so once, to be honest, without having to remove it, because it will sort of like fall off. But I think what I figured out, I'm not 100% sure on this, and I need to test this out more, but I think it's just really making sure that it's properly, like, where the back is supposed to end is like literally right before your anus. So if you have it properly secured and on there, and you sort of like don't fully sit 100% on the toilet and with instinct to make sure it doesn't hit the water, like push it back, don't do that. If you just like hold it kind of in place and like slightly lean, you can do it. I think that's what worked. It's not 100% wonderful, but you know, it's better than having to take it off. Okay, so this was like a big thing. If you use something that vibrates like a bullet, you can totally orgasm with this on, which is really amazing. I mean, honestly, if you're lucky, I guess, and you're like really, you know, in the mood and you're there and you're like with your partner and whatever, and maybe you could without it. I don't know. I haven't, you know, tested it that way, but to that extent, but like you can absolutely orgasm if you have just like a bullet and just holding it like directly like under the base or like above the balls. I mean, you can figure out what works for you, but I'm telling you right now, it's possible, and you know, it's something you definitely have to like figure out and work at, but it's definitely helpful because if you're like having, especially if you're intimate with somebody, but even if you're by yourself, the adhesive is extremely sticky. And when you remove it, sorry, this went in. If you remove it in order to reach below, I'll say, it's going to be sticky and messy. You're, like, not going to be able to do that. Like, you can't just, like, remove it and be like, okay, like, we're just going to have sex without it, or, oh, I'm just going to keep playing with myself without it. Like, can't really do that. So it's a really big deal to be able to orgasm with it on. The last big pro that I want to talk about is the 3D balls. So that's cool. They feel pretty realistic. They literally have a sack in it that moves, so you can totally pass the grab test. And because they're 3D, they sit naturally against your body. So it's really cool because you get to just sort of like feel as close as we can, I guess, in this situation to feeling literally like you have, you know, a cis penis. It is, fortunately and unfortunately, probably just as annoying as, you know, cis balls, and like they definitely can get uncomfortable and like not sit where they should, and you totally have to adjust yourself. And I'll take the second to, if any super brave cis dudes that I know are watching this right now, which I would be very surprised about, I'm sorry that I always mocked you all those years and complained about you adjusting, although it's not always appropriate to adjust in certain places, but I get it now. Okay? Sorry. Moving on. So yeah, those are all the pros, and like that's a very long list of pros compared to what the cons I'm going to read you, but you'll factor it in yourself, and then I'll sort of wrap it up. So cons. It's expensive. $600, hand-painted, everything. That doesn't include the adhesive. The adhesive is messy and expensive. I mean, basically, I'm still trying to figure out if I'm using the right amount of adhesive. I might be using too much adhesive. You know, so maybe it would last longer. I'm still working with the initial bottles that I have, but certain things have almost run out, so I did order more that just arrived today. But I will have a better picture as to how long it all lasts. But basically, if you get the extra strength kit, which is what you're going to want to use, I want to be clear about that. You're going to want to get the extra strength kit. So you're going to want the extra strength adhesive, the extra strength adhesive remover, which you're going to use for the prosthetic itself, not on your skin. I learned that the hard way. And then the regular adhesive, I mean, basically, I'm trying to remember how long it's been since I got it. I guess it's been probably like a week and a half, so I'm guessing it will all last about 2.5 weeks. So you're looking at easily spending like upwards of like $200+ a month, potentially to month and a half to use this. So yeah, I didn't really think that through when I purchased it, so learn from my mistake because now I'm stuck in it. It's expensive. It is not easy to clean. I'm going to be super upfront with you. In terms of like everyday cleaning and sanitizing, that's easy. You can boil it for 3 minutes. As I said, you can wash with all the soaps and the cleansing, fine. But you will have buildup of adhesive because I can guarantee you that you're not always going to have time or want, because it's a pain in the ass to clean, to clean off the adhesive every single day or every single time. You won't always be in the place to do it, the time to do it, whatever. I've also kind of realized that if you do let it build up for like a day or two, I do notice that it sticks like even better. I do need to test this a little bit more. I haven't really spent a lot of time to clean it, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass to clean. I mean, the adhesive, it's messy. It will. It gets on the outside of the prosthetic, it gets on the inside of the prosthetic, it gets all on your junk. Like, that is the hardest part to clean, for sure. Like, so yeah, it's not easy to clean. That's definitely, in my opinion, the cleaning aspect is probably the worst part of the whole thing. The other issue is that it takes a really long time Like, it's a whole fucking process. Not even just to clean it, but to, like, put it on, set it up. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta wash your hands. Then you have to go and clean the prosthetic. Then it has to dry. Okay, so you let it dry. Then after that, you have to take a paintbrush, and because that's the best way to go about it, and you put the adhesive on. You're going to want to do 2 coats of adhesive on the outer rim of the front flap, and then on, like, the edges and definitely the back. You're going to want to do 2 coats. Then you have to let that sit. It has to set, so it gets, like, kind of more tacky and, like, and harder. So that's, like, at least 3 to 5 minutes, and while you're doing that, you also have to apply it on to your pubic area, which, you know, also has to dry. Then you have to, like, I have yet to be brave enough to just, like, apply it standing up and know that it's really properly on. I don't know that I hope that I'll be more comfortable eventually with doing that, but as of right now, since I'm not 100% consistent with it, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. So I have to, like, I have to literally, like, hobble crab style after I've applied everything and, like, leap awkwardly into my bed. And then, because I don't have a mirror around, I have to, like, open my computer or whatever, or set my phone in somewhere, and literally look and place it. And then you have to hold it there in position for, like, 2 minutes and, like, really hold it. And then you have to, like, kind of let it sit for a minute and then, like, really hold it down and make sure that it's properly on, that you're not going to have any leaks. And then you have to put on whatever underwear or the hot shorts, the rodeo hot shorts. It's a pain in the ass. What can I tell you? It's definitely not, like, something where you have a harness and it's like a 1, 2, 3, okay, bye. So that is, like, a really big con, especially if you're in a situation where you're out and you have to remove it or put it on or something, like, or even if you're with a new partner, you might feel really, like, dysphoric and uncomfortable to have to, like, take it off and reapply and clean. It's a thing to consider. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I had some leaks. But as I said, these leaks pretty much have been my fault. I just, you know, I've been really pushing the boundaries with this, trying to make sure I have a proper review for you guys, and just seeing what it can do for me. So, yeah, I mean, I'll just say that it does not like squats. That is what I've realized. Like, if you do squats or deadlifts, any sort of thing where you're literally, like, completely lowering yourself to the ground, or, like, getting low, like, don't get low on the dance floor with it. You can't forget about it. Like, that type of movement is absolutely going to move it out of place. No questions asked. Especially if it's, like, hot and you're sweaty, because you're going to sweat there. And, like, especially, like, sorry to say, but you're going to kind of, like, sweat in your ass crack. And, like, those are things that are going to loosen it up. And if you're doing squats, obviously if you're doing the gym, you're going to be ultimately, like, really sweaty. And, like, those movements are going to just, yeah, if you do that, you're going to have leaks. So, not 100% confident in it yet. And that is, like, difficult. So yeah, it's, as I mentioned earlier, unless you're just going about your day and doing average activity, or, like, maybe, you know, not a super heavy workout, or a workout that involves, like, your lower body, you're going to need to wear the rodeo hot shorts. Another con, this current one is small for my taste. It's the slim. It's 5 inches. They don't have another size right now. They're apparently working on a larger size, it seems like. The STP that I had before was 5.5 inch and was definitely thicker in girth. I am getting more comfortable with it in terms of size, and I do, like, acknowledge that for, like, a flaccid penis, like, that's big. But in terms of the fact that we don't work the way, unfortunately, cis males do, so there is no, you know, erection getting hard, like, what you have is what you have. That's what you're working with. So, you know, it's definitely taking adjusting. I loved the fact that with my last one, I think it was really honestly, it wasn't even the length, it was the girth that did. If this was like a thicker girth, it would pack the way, it would get the bulge more the way that I want. It's not that I totally obviously don't want to have like a boner or whatever, but, you know, I do somewhat like to have a bulge. It's not even that it has to show through my pants, just like I can feel it, and seeing it when I look at it, that's what matters to me. So yeah, as I said, I'm not 100% confident in the not leaking category, so I have not tested it with a urinal, because God forbid, although I came super close to doing that today. You may have to put it on and take it off and put it back on like twice in a day. As I said, you know, it's amazing that it lasts as long as it does, but it's not going to last that long if you're doing rigorous activity. Like, I can pretty much guarantee if you're going to do like a heavy workout with squats, or you're sweating a lot, or you're like having sex or something like that, you're totally going to have to take it off and reapply. So, you know, even to feel just confident and comfortable, like, even if I don't have a super rigorous day and I put it on in the morning, but I'm like going out, you know, at night or whatever, and I'm going to like be social, I will totally like take it off and reapply. So, you know, that wouldn't be a pain in the ass if it wasn't a pain in the ass to take it off and clean and blah, blah, but as I said, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Con, taking it off can hurt if you're not careful. Do not just rip this off. And like, another con that is woven into this, that is really the last con on my list, is that you have to shave your pubic hair in order to use this. There's no question about it. You will pull your hair out. And it hurts even to take it off when you have, like, nothing there. Even if it's a light buzz, like, literally, at this point, I'm shaving almost every day just to make sure that I don't hurt myself. But you're definitely going to want to, like, slowly peel it off, and it's definitely not going to feel comfortable, because you don't want to, like, the way that it would probably feel the most comfortable is if you were to, like, slowly peel it off and, like, kind of pull back your skin while you're doing that. You can't really do that, because you have all the adhesive that you had on your pubic area, so that's really sticky. And unless you want adhesive literally all over your hands, you can't really do that. So, I know this has been a really freaking long video, but it's really important for me to go through all the pros and cons. I know that after hearing the cons, it can seem really frustrating and, like, not worth it, but I seriously want to say that out of all of the STPs that I've used, and again, if you've seen my other videos, I've used all the other top ones in the market, this is hands down the best one that I've used. I'm so close, I feel like, to perfecting it, and I think that it also just honestly takes time and patience. You can't just get an STP, especially if it's your first one, and expect that you're just going to master it off the go, like, and be confident with it off the bat, because there's so much emotionally that has to do with being able to feel confident with it enough to, like, use a urinal, and, like, you know, every time I go to the bathroom, I'm like, oh my god, please don't leak, you know, there's already so much to worry about when you go to the bathroom in terms of dysphoria and safety and all that jazz, but now you have to worry about, you know, not leaking, and I'm definitely getting better about it, as I said, and I'm hoping, my goal is basically by the end of the summer to feel comfortable enough to pee and confident enough to pee with a urinal and, like, not have a panic attack about leaking, and just to not have, I definitely expect to not have leaks super soon. I'm, as I said, becoming very close to figuring it out, and the only thing I haven't really tested is the swimming, which will happen soon. So, yeah, overall, it's definitely the best one. I do recommend it. Again, it's the ReelMagik Slim STP. It's 5 inches, and you can go on there and order it. And yeah, it's a pain that it takes forever to get here. It's like 3 months, but I would say it's worth it. You know, if you don't want to have surgery and you have bottom dysphoria and you want to have an STP and something that can really be used for everything, this is the one. So check it out. decide what you think, but this is my review, my final say. Maybe I'll say a little something if I really perfect it, or after I swim, probably I will. So, have a good night, guys.